Have you ever stopped to wonder how many thoughts pass through your mind every single day? Experts estimate that the average person has around 60,000 to 80,000 thoughts daily. That's a staggering number, isn't it? But here's the twist. Studies suggest that about 90% of those thoughts are either repetitive, negative, or completely unnecessary. Think about that. Only 10% of your mental activity might actually be constructive or relevant. This realization raises an essential question. Why do we let these unnecessary thoughts take up so much space in our minds? And more importantly, how can we stop this cycle? To begin unraveling this mystery, let's explore the nature of thoughts themselves. Thoughts are like visitors. They come and go, uninvited, and often without purpose. Yet despite their fleeting nature, we often attach ourselves to them. We dwell on them, replay them, and sometimes even build entire stories around them. This attachment is where the problem begins. Imagine your mind as a still pond. Each thought is like a pebble dropped into the water. A single pebble causes ripples, but if you keep tossing in pebbles, thought after thought, the surface of the pond becomes chaotic. You can't see clearly through the water anymore. This is what happens in our minds when we give unnecessary attention to every thought that arises. One of the reasons so many of our thoughts are unnecessary is that they are rooted in either the past or the future. How often do you find yourself replaying old conversations, regretting past actions, or worrying about things that haven't even happened yet? These thoughts don't serve us. They don't change the past or control the future, yet they consume our energy and distract us from the present moment, the only place where life actually happens. So, what can we do? The first step is awareness. You can't change what you're not aware of. Begin by noticing your thoughts. This doesn't mean judging them or trying to suppress them. Just observe. Imagine you're standing on the side of a busy road, watching cars go by. Each car represents a thought. You don't chase the cars or try to stop them. You simply notice them as they pass. This practice of observing your thoughts is often called mindfulness. Mindfulness doesn't mean emptying your mind or achieving a state of pure silence. Instead, it's about creating a space between you and your thoughts, allowing you to recognize that you are not your thoughts. The moment you realize you are separate from your thoughts, you reclaim your power. You're no longer at the mercy of every random idea that pops into your head. This is crucial because the more attention you give to a thought, the more energy it gains. It's like feeding a fire. A small spark can turn into a roaring blaze if you keep feeding it. Consider this. When a negative thought arises, maybe self-doubt, fear, or anger, you have a choice. You can either focus on it, replay it, and let it grow, or you can acknowledge it and let it pass. The second option might feel unnatural at first because we've been conditioned to engage with our thoughts. But with practice, it becomes second nature. Let's dive deeper into why unnecessary thoughts gain power when we focus on them. The brain is wired to prioritize what it perceives as important. When you pay attention to a thought, your brain assumes it must be significant. It strengthens the neural pathways associated with that thought, making it easier for similar thoughts to arise in the future. This is why one negative thought can lead to a spiral of negativity. It's a self-reinforcing cycle. Breaking this cycle requires conscious effort. One effective way to do this is by practicing detachment. Detachment doesn't mean ignoring your thoughts or pretending they don't exist. It means acknowledging them without emotional investment. For instance, if you notice a thought like, "I'm not good enough," instead of spiraling into self-criticism, you can say to yourself, "Ah, there's that thought again." This simple act of naming the thought creates distance. Another powerful tool is shifting your focus to the present moment. Remember, unnecessary thoughts thrive in the realms of the past and future. By anchoring yourself in the present, you deprive them of their playground. You can do this through your senses. Take a moment to feel the weight of your body in your chair, notice the sounds around you, or focus on your breath. These small acts of presence can ground you and disrupt the flow of unnecessary thoughts. It's also essential to understand that thoughts are not facts. Just because you think something doesn't make it true. Yet, we often believe our thoughts without question. This is where self-inquiry can be transformative. When a persistent thought arises, ask yourself, is this true? Can I absolutely know it's true? Often, you'll find that the answer is no. Letting go of unnecessary thoughts also involves cultivating self-compassion. Many of our repetitive or negative thoughts stem from a harsh inner critic. When you catch yourself in a cycle of self-judgment, pause and treat yourself with kindness. Remind yourself that it's okay to have these thoughts. They don't define you. Over time, as you practice observing your thoughts and letting them pass, you'll notice a shift. Your mind will feel clearer, like that still pond we mentioned earlier. You'll have more mental space for creativity, problem-solving, and genuine connection with others. It's worth noting that letting go of unnecessary thoughts doesn't mean suppressing emotions. Emotions are an integral part of the human experience. When an emotion arises, allow yourself to feel it fully without judgment. Emotions, like thoughts, are temporary. They pass through you like waves if you let them. Another crucial aspect of this journey is gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking or problematic to what's already good in your life. It's a simple yet profound way to train your mind to notice the positive rather than dwelling on the unnecessary. Finally, remember that this is a practice, not a destination. You won't wake up one day with a completely clear mind, free of unnecessary thoughts. And that's okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Each moment of mindfulness, each act of letting go, is a step toward a more peaceful and present life. As you embark on this journey, be patient with yourself. Unnecessary thoughts are part of being human. The key is not to get rid of them entirely, but to change your relationship with them. When you can observe your thoughts without attachment, you'll discover a sense of freedom and clarity that transforms your inner world. And that transformation starts now, with a single breath, a single moment of awareness. Notice the thought you're having right now and let it pass. Notice the space it leaves behind, the stillness, the peace. That's where your true power lies.